Hey, welcome back. It's good to have you guys here on my channel again. It's good to see you. Today we're going to go over part 3 of our job interview process. We want to think about how we can avoid cliches. Cliches are things that people say all the time, and if we avoid these, we're definitely going to slam dunk your next job interview, but it will really improve your odds of being hired. So we're talking about things like when you say, oh, I'm extremely organized, or maybe you've even bragged about what kind of a hard worker you are, or how passionate you are about this company that you're applying for right now. That all ends here. We're going to talk about interviews that people have had. These are cliches that they've used in interviews, and we want to avoid them. So we've talked to some business owners, and we're going to talk about the worst responses they've ever heard. So you can avoid these boring, rehearsed answers, and we'll figure it out as we go along. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is during the question, they'll probably ask you something like, tell me what you know about our company, or tell me what you've learned about the company, or how do you feel about our company. Anything along those lines, and you've all done some research on the company. It's necessary to do a research phase while you're looking into this company you want to work for. So when they say, tell me what you know about the company, don't fall into the trap of saying something like, I'm passionate about the challenges you're solving. It's very, very rare for someone to have passion about custom watches or face cream. What you should talk about, the interviewer would prefer to hear, is for candidates to share an honest assessment of their own experiences and what new skills they're interested in developing. Ideally, you're going to have a track record of success, and you want to show that you hunger for improvement. No, we're not talking about saving the world, so please be mindful about sharing your passions. So, what do I know about the company? Oh, I know a lot. I've done some research on y'all, and I think y'all are great. I'm very passionate about what y'all do. And I know y'all make tape and you sell tape. I brought some. This is the same brand you guys got. It's almost as good as duct tape. I had a hole in my shirt. I've done fixed it. Right here I'll tell you, this tape is amazing. I'm really good with this tape, and I can sell you a bunch of that tape because I know people who need tape, and it's really good stuff. So let's go to number 2, the number 2 question. And this has to do with questions when they ask, why should we hire you? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Or why do you want to work for us? So some people make the mistake of saying, I see myself doing this for a long time from now. Now, while this sounds great on the surface, or it sounds like you want to be a loyal employee of the company for years to come, this always seems as if it's someone with no ambition. What they really want to hear is how you're going to grow in this role, bring new ideas, something to the table, advance the company, and add value in the position you're going to be in. Doing the same thing for 5 years screams stagnancy, and it also shows a little bit of a lack of ambition. So try not to use that. Don't use that in any of these questions that they may ask you. Well, blimey, that's a good question, ain't it, mate? Where do I see myself in 5 years' time? Fair go, mate. Well, one time I gone on a walkabout, and I learned a lot about myself, so I see myself doing this for a long time now. Yeah, I don't mind sitting around here for the next 5 years or so. Better than a kick up the backside, I say. Wrap your laughing gear on that, yeah? Well, let's get it done then, and we'll go throw a shrimp on the barbie, mate. Good day. Yes, so let's go to the next one. And it's the question they would ask during the interview is, what is your biggest weakness? Or what is your greatest weakness? Or do you have any blind spots? They're all very similar questions. And a lot of people will say that they work too much. And that's their biggest weakness. Also, they'll say, oh, I'm a perfectionist. And they often say this without even being prompted, which is a dead giveaway that they rehearsed it to say it that way. Instead of giving the response you think the interviewer wants to hear, you could say something honest and candid. Another one that's right along that is, I'm a hard worker. They answer the same thing with, I'm a hard worker. and this is another, it sounds so cliche. Everybody that works or everybody that's applying for the job is a hard worker, or they should be a hard worker. So instead of saying that, tell them how you are a hard worker. What do? Do you often stay late to complete work? Do you take on extra overtime or assignments? That is much further than just saying you're a hard worker. It's showing that you're going to bring value to the table. And that's exactly what you want to do, is bring value. So every chance you get to say something about how you're going to improve the company by your presence being there, that's exactly what you'd say.
What is my greatest weakness? Or what, do I have blind spots? No, not at all. I would say my weaknesses are minimal. Before we go on, and I know you have time, I have something I would like to discuss. One of the saddest lessons in history is this. If we've been bamboozled for a long time, we tend to reject any evidence of the bamboozle. We're no longer interested in finding the truth. The bamboozle has captured us. It's simply too painful to acknowledge, even to ourselves, that we have been taken. Once we give in to a charlatan's power over us, we almost never give it back. So with that being said, I am a perfectionist. I am extremely organized. I'm a workaholic. I work very hard. In fact, I'm very passionate about this company I'm applying for. So I think you'll find me a very pleasant addition to your team.
So number 5, the next thing on the list is, what do you do when they ask you a question about why should we hire you, or why do you want to work for us? So those are both good questions. But one of the wrong ways to answer this is, because this is my dream job. Even though that seems as if it's flattering to the prospective company or the job interviewer, applying for your dream job, it doesn't tell the employer how you're a dream employee. Which is the real question at hand. He's asking you about you. So instead, show off your enthusiasm for the role by demonstrating how you would use that passion to help you with business challenges, solving problems, because enthusiasm must be backed up by substance and strategy. One of the things that really helps is, again, I talk about this a lot, which is your research phase. So when answering this question, make sure you have a detailed research phase, that you know a lot about the company. And so when you answer this, it should encompass analysis of the company, the job attributes, and a wide range of qualities that you bring to the table. How you can help them. In terms of competency, the interviewer is ensuring that you can make well-informed and timely decisions, and that you receive or that you perceive the impact of the implications of the decisions that you make. So be careful with that answer. So once again, I want to go over something before we go to the next question. And we talked about this in the beginning when we talked about avoiding cliches. Of course, this whole video is about how to avoid cliches or what not to say, but I want to be more specific about exactly what not to say. And here it is. I'm extremely organized, or I'm a perfectionist, I'm a workaholic, or I'm a very hard worker, or I'm passionate about this company. Whatever you do, please don't use these. Even though you think that this may paint you in a perfect picture, or may make you look like, oh, that's the guy I want, right? That's not really why you should use those. Even though you think that's going to help you, it's actually cliches that the interview has heard before. Now, you have to avoid those boring, rehearsed answers. Now, you can explain to them how you are a hard worker, how you are extremely organized. Tell them what you do. Give them examples about any of these qualities that you want to talk about without saying that phrase. Because if you tell me all the things that you do, I'm like, wow, he's an incredible worker. He's always busy. And that tells me the same thing without you saying, oh, I'm a hard worker. Because in reality, you have to realize that these attributes are what every great employee has. So there's no need to talk about those particular answers. Just talk about them in a way that you can explain how you are that without saying those cliches. So when you answer with those cliches, it limits your ability to stand out from the rest of the competition. So just talk about how well you do those things, and that'll change. That'll make you sound so much better. So let's go over our last point. This question they ask, and it's usually towards the end of the interview: why did you quit your last job? And there are really many different ways to answer this question. If you think about when they ask you, why did you leave your last job, you got to be careful. But one of the things you never want to do is talk down on your previous employer or employees or colleagues or anybody you worked with in the last job, because they start to think that if you're going to say that about the last employer, that maybe you might say that about them in the future, and nobody wants that. They don't want that. So you have to think about possible answers or reasons that you are saying you left your last job. You could say things like, I left because of better opportunities, I was looking for growth professionally, or I was looking for a chance to work abroad. But whatever you do or whatever you talk about, make sure it's positive and upbeat. Yeah, so like, why'd I quit my last job, dude? Yeah, well, I got the surf report that morning, man, and I wasn't having it, if you know what I mean, man. Yeah, I was wicked unhappy, So I took off. Yeah, dude, broski. Yeah, there were rad barrels, according to the report, So I had to leave, no question. And so I get out there, right, and there's A-frame after A-frame. It was gnarly. So I get out there, and I was lining up, and it's my turn, and I pop up, and I pop in, and I catch the pocket, dude. It was sick, man. I was stoked all day. It was victory at sea, you know what I mean, dude? Oh, would I do that here? No, I really think this job's awesome, man. I think I could do well here. But, surf is surf, Thank you so much. I hope you like my characters. I hope you like everything I'm talking about here. This has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it very much. Please watch for more YouTube videos. Check out our other channels on TikTok and Instagram. We're looking forward to helping you with your career in any way we can be help you with some insight towards getting a better job. Always remember to check out clairsway.com. The link is below. They can help you think about getting your 6-figure income within the next 6 to 9 months. They can help you do all of that. We're here to help. We want you to succeed. Thank you. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and most of all, don't forget to share. Talk to you soon. Ciao.